Okay. Kelsey kind of jumped in on this. Who has a LinkedIn account now that we're officially going? Hands up high.
Didn't you guys all?
High. There we go. That's a good amount. How many of you set it up because you got extra credit or because somebody told you it was a good thing to do and you've never used it? Hey, there's some honest people. Thank you. All right. I use LinkedIn every day, and I use it for not so much to look for a job, but I look for job seekers. I look for networking purposes, and the best way for you to effectively find a job is to network. So that's how we'll tie this whole thing in. You can check the papers. Chances are the job has been filled. They just had to legally put it in the paper for a certain amount of time. There's websites. Here's a news flash. There's 6 billion people that have access to that same website on the planet. So a lot of people are going for that same. The best way for you to get in front of people to get the job you want is to know people, to be in the right networks. We talked about this this morning, making the right connections and making the right impressions so that when a job comes up, you're ready for it.
Touch on that a little bit too for those who weren't here.
Okay. No matter, very first speaker in the morning said, look for careers, not jobs. And so take careers that are going to better you in the long run. I've had 3 careers in my life, and every one has gotten me a little bit further. And I've used things I've learned in every situation. I've also used the relationships that I've had before to help build my current practice. Is that kind of where you want me to go with that?
We talked a lot about how it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And obviously, you guys, it is about what you know. I mean, you need to get degrees, you need to graduate and stuff like that. But we talked about this earlier. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. But make sure that you're building networks every single day. Some of the people in here might have some really sweet job that you're going to want to work for someday. They might be the CEO of a company. And it's important that you made that relationship and that you met these people so that they can help you and you can help them down the road.
I'm in a civic organization called the JCs in the Cedar Valley. A lot of jobs happen, or people switch jobs because we're at a meeting. Not talking about jobs, just, I'm looking for this person. Really? I'm looking to leave. Oh, didn't even know that. Next thing you know, job happens. My current PR marketing person, I wasn't exactly looking. Kelsey and I had some infrequent discussions that, I'm looking for this person. She's talking to somebody and says, I think you'd be perfect for this job that this guy's looking for. A couple interviews later, boom, she has a job. She's graduating in May. She starts with me the next day. So, never went to the paper. I didn't put it on Monster. What else is there? Just word of mouth, people getting to know each other. All right. Before we dive into all the details, anything you guys want to make sure we cover?
We need some energy.
Yeah.
You guys need to wake up. Hate being an after lunch speaker.
Yes.
I guess the main concern is we as international students and the challenges of getting a job in the United States as because of our status as non U.S. citizen. And I know with the situation out there, maybe it might be difficult because I've seen past graduates from the school and most of them are having a really difficult time. And we ended up either doing internship or go home, which most of them we actually really want to work and get the experience here in the United States.
One of the things with that is, dealing with a sponsorship. You guys have to have a sponsorship, right? It's hard for companies, especially in our world, because the most successful people are those who are from not only the United States, but those who are from our local territory. So those are the positions that we're looking for. Not only is it going to be better for us to find someone local, but it's going to be hard for international students to do what we do. So with you, it might just be a lot harder you guys are just going to have to meet a lot more people and kind of step outside the box a little bit more than, a student from this area. So it's just one of those things that, going back to networking, we might know people who you can find an internship with or a job with that they'll sponsor you. And then that's where it comes into play as, obviously we're in sales, but you're going to have to sell why should you sponsor me? Why should I be someone who can come and work for your company and you guys sponsor me? I don't know if that answers your question or if that's what you're looking for. you're just gonna have to be, I mean, you're just gonna have to work that much harder than this, one of the students who might be from this area.
I say that's where the relationship is just that much
Yeah.
more important. That I like you enough, I'm going to find a way to have you working with me.
But it needs to be a genuine relationship, okay? Which, you were there earlier, you were here earlier, right?
For the, after college financial.
Okay. So we just talked about the importance of relationships and building relationships and being very genuine and deliberate with relationships and not just, I mean, we're not gonna just sit down with somebody and make a sale right away. We're focused on that relationship for a reason. So that's just where you guys have to, I mean, you have to step out more outside of the box with that.
And I'll give you an example of that when you being involved but being deliberate and intentional and really wanting to be there. I wear this pin a lot. It's Alex's Lemonade Stand. It's a little girl who died of cancer, so this is the fund, the charity that tries to end childhood cancer. I don't think there's anybody who wouldn't want to do that. So a lot of people wear the pin, don't know anything about it. I'm involved. I like to try to help out with events if I can, but I support it here. At a networking event, talking to a vice president of the bank in Waterloo, Iowa. Alex is from Philadelphia. He's like, "Is that Alex's Lemonade Stand?" I'm like, yeah, that is. It's like, "Oh, my daughter was in the hospital with Alex at the same time and died 2 weeks before she did." Got to know their family very well. If this is just something I'm wearing because it's cool and it's like, "Oh, I got this free," or "I think people like it if I wear this," and I don't know anything about it, me and that guy's conversation just goes, he loses respect for me, goes nowhere. Instead, now we're having a deep conversation. "I'm so sorry to hear that. This is what we do to fund these things." At the end, we're talking not about business, we're talking about, if you do something in the area, let me know, and I want to help you out. And so that's where, if you get involved in, if you had a family member die of breast cancer, and you want to support, get involved in those things, but do it for the right reason, not to meet people and network. That will come. That's a byproduct of being involved in people seeing you're a good person.
We can't stress that enough, you guys. Both of us would not be where we are today if it wasn't for the people we know and the relationships that we've built. So we're gonna probably just beat that, but focus on these relationships and maintain them. I mean, I've had so many friends who, when they leave college, they lose touch with all of their friends. Not only, you might be a little bit more lonely, but you don't have people who are mentors to you and who are going to be able to, coach you through things and like I said, serve as that mentor, that leader in your life.
When we talked about, as we're kind of drifting, we'll try to kind of steer back to conducting an effective job search. Earlier we talked about career fairs. And I said, do as many interviews as you can. Kelsey, I'm going to toot her horn a little bit here, is awesome. That was a compliance statement. She is awesome if you had a great interview, but you're just not a natural fit for what we do. What we do is very hard, and it's not for everybody. It's got about a 14% success rate.
17.
Okay, 17. If you had a great interview, you had a lot of passion, you connected with Kelsey, I've seen Kelsey go out of her way to send your resume on to another company or another recruiter because there was a relationship there. Again, that's where that handwritten thank you at the end can maybe keep you in touch to where she says, "Hey, I just had lunch with this recruiter from Target and they are looking for somebody. I shot them your resume, just follow up with them in a couple days." I've seen her do that. It happens all over. So building, that's again, we're back to the relationship. But when you go to the career fairs, you don't know what you want to do right now. I know a lot of you think you do. I saw a lot of hands raised. I know exactly what I want to do in my life. You know exactly what you want to do in your life at 22. 34, not that anybody in here is 34, I'm just saying.
That is so cool.
But when you get to be seasoned, your life changes. When you have spouse and children, where are kids going to school, things like that. So many variables change that you want to have still lots of doors that are open, and building relationships, having real people that you can talk to keeps those doors open.
Let's talk about the doors then.
Like Jim Morrison?
Yeah. Can you guys,
Thank
can you guys
you.
even see that if I'm standing here?
All right.
Yeah? Okay.
To set up a LinkedIn account, literally takes 5 minutes.
Does literally everyone in here have a LinkedIn account? Who does not have? What? Come, somebody, let's show them just how easy.
Okay.
What are you, Humble?
Yeah.
Humble, go. This is so easy, you guys.
Okay. Oh, look, right here. Get started. Ready? 2 minutes. I said 5. It says 2. All right. All right. Why do you want to do this? Somebody. It's a good way to keep track of yourself. It's a good way to make connections. Is it like Facebook? No!
No,
It's
Tiffany.
nothing like Facebook.
No, it's not.
You're done talking for the day. Okay. Facebook, it's all about who you know. These are my friends. This is what they ate this morning. This is their kid going to the first day of kindergarten, which those are good pictures. But LinkedIn is all about who the people you know.
So you don't have to just do.
You gotta go. Oh, it takes 2 minutes. Okay, that's the big misconception with LinkedIn to Facebook, is it has nothing to do with who you know. Kelsey and I are connections. I don't need to be connected with Kelsey. I know Kelsey. I know what she does. Where it's a little bit like Facebook is you can see if they move jobs, things like that. What I really want to know is, who does Kelsey know? And as prospective job seekers, or not prospective, you guys are job seekers, prospective interviewees, you want to know, you've met Kelsey, and you're going to interview at John Deere. So you're going to look up John Deere and see if the person who you're going to interview with, okay, I did that backwards, but when you look them up and you see that they know Kelsey, you're going to throw her a message saying, hey, can you either throw a good word in or tell me something that might help me in my interview with this person? Yeah.
And I will.
Right.
If I like you.
Just get crazy.
Oh, I think you can do your school one too. Oh, but you
You can
did.
just continue. Yep.
Yeah. No, but I think you have.
Oh,
You have to skip this step.
yeah. Right. When you're setting it up, there's a couple technical things. You don't need to upload every contact you have. You
So
might
then
want to
you have
be.
to go with your.
But my very next point is connect with everybody you know.
Yeah.
Again, not because you know them, because who knows who they know. My job deals a lot with just sitting down, having appointments with people. Got connected, got referred to a girl who works in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Looked her up on LinkedIn, saw that my wife's cousin, who lives in Nashville, was I know,
Twice removed.
carry the one. They were connections. And so I just have to, I'm like, how do you know this person? Finds out it's his wife's sister. I mean, yeah, I know. Now I think we actually made a circle. But
What should you do?
I met with myself. Key to any online encryption device is remembering your password.
It's written down somewhere, just like you can skip this step so I can do it. So you look at it, it says send confirmation email, and then you'll get it in your email, and then put on your phone, and you'll get it later. Thanks, Tiff.
Oh, Tiff. Good thing she talked to
Does
you.
it go to your phone go to your email? Or your email go to your phone? Yeah.
Why do you have your phone?
It'll pop in, and then you'll enter it.
Just so you all know, we've probably done this presentation 50 times. This is the longest it's ever taken. Do you have enough space on the camera? I mean, are we running out of time? All right, so where I was going with that is that this girl ended up talking to, we ended up having a real conversation. We're connecting about something that's not business now. Obviously, the main intention, I did business with somebody she knows. They thought it'd be good to do business with her. But just throwing business at somebody the first time you meet them, nobody wants that. So now we have a real conversation about, oh, I was at the same wedding you were when they got married. You know, where were you? Blah, blah, blah. Nice day. But we had a great conversation. It became real. She's a client now because I'm not just somebody who, hey, you should talk to me. You know why? Because I rock. Is that good enough? Very. Was there no talking? Everybody, can we go Tiffany no talk? Okay.
Oh man!
All right. So as we're still but
Megan! Bagels!
as we get into this, and you're looking for jobs, because a lot of you, how many of you would like to be fully employed someday? Boy, I'd like to see more hands in that. Hey! It's not looking so good for you, though.
I give up. Now can I just leave it all figure it out?
Oh, yes. You have to confirm it, so I'm gonna get the email in your email.
Yeah, but it's still the same
Okay,
business.
I go back to the vacant site and then use the login that you just created, and it should have confirmed it on your phone.
Tim, why don't you just do it?
No.
For me.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Right.
Tim, come on, guys.
When you get it set up,
Just remember your password, and then you can redo everything.
remember that.
Like your LinkedIn one, and you can redo it all.
Tim, come send me
We'll just get up.
Yeah, I'll
Just
get on
up or something.
Sorry.
But anyway, guys,
That's
it is.
okay.
That's
Everybody
all that
give-
you need, though.
give
All
her a
you
hand.
have to do is yes, Megan. All you need to do is just log in. For those of you guys who don't have it yet, you just have to log. You have to create a sign on, and then you have to confirm your Gmail because then notifications from LinkedIn come to your other email account.
oh yeah, here.
That's you. Well,
Yeah, but we're so you have an
Add
account
her.
now.
Add us to hers right now. LinkedIn hijack right here.
Yeah. Don't do this in your dorm room. Leave your LinkedIn or your Facebook, anything like that, open at your break time. Because your roommates might not be as nice as what I'm.
With this, you guys,
There are a lot of people with cool names in here.
the most important things is the picture, your little snapshot. Try to get a professional photo, and then the actual. Are you logged in yours yet? Did you add yourself? And then your actual summary for. So, how many of you guys have an elevator speech? Who wants to do it?
Tim, go for it.
Tim, give us your elevator pitch.
You better get Tim on mic. So.
Tim,
This
come
is
here,
going
get a hot
out.
mic over here. You don't have to if I'm totally calling you out.
No, come up, shake your hand.
Okay. You love to talk, Tim? Why did you do it? Tim and
Our
Kelsey.
current student government
I see.
president,
Just
Kelsey.
don't notice me. I'm not.
What? You're Pete
Tim is our
Press.
current student government president.
Congratulations, Tim. You smell like mint. All right, Tim.
Well, I mean, what's the situation? What am I running into?
I'm at a career. You just met me at a career fair.
Okay, well, so you're in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So, can you? This is gonna.
Yeah.
All right. To move from Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm a business management marketing major at Upper Iowa University. I'm currently the student body president, so the board of trustees, and you want to hire me.
Why?
What and this is the career? I don't know too much about it.
So good. That poses a good point. So when you're doing that was good. Very good, Tim. When you're meeting with people, so obviously you want to know a little bit about the company, the person you're talking to. You also want to be able, within your LinkedIn, you want to kind of embellish on and add more to your elevator speech. You want to talk about your skills. You want to talk about what type of job you're seeking. It's not a resume though. Okay, so that's just kind of the first couple sentences is what is going to capture our attention, and then that's when we're going to want to talk to you. So, attaboy, Tim.
Attaboy, Tim.
So show him your. Is this internet older than Lauren? Sorry.
All right.
Sorry. Where's your, go to yours, babe.
No. difference. I did not have that many friends. You spend more than a half hour with me, I don't have any.
Show them your summary.
All right. The most important thing is get a picture. If you don't have a picture, you're not taking it serious.
And that's something we can try to do if we do this again next year. Hope we can set up like a little professional.
Yeah. All of the people who are in different groups on campus, that is a great thing in the spring and fall to maybe get more people to your group is to have a photographer come in to do headshots,
Yeah.
but make it open to everybody. So maybe they have to sit through your meeting, which probably is exciting, but to get the headshot because everybody needs one. You know, here up, professional,
Very professional.
very professional. And again, if you don't have one, and I'm looking at your page, you're not taking it serious, so why do I keep going on? The most important thing I like people to spend some time on is your summary. I'm in a different place.
You guys see that?
I have a job. I'm not looking for another job. So mine, and in our business, everything has to be regulated and approved, basically, that I'm saying legal things. You guys, as job seekers, I want to look at this. I want to click on your page, and I want to be mesmerized. I want to be drawn in because this is what pops up, your picture and your summary, when I pull up your page. I need to know whether I should go down to where more of the content is. This is the cover of a book. And we're not talking adult books, we're talking kids' books now. Because the cover is more important. Should you check it out from the library? You know, I have a kindergartner. A lot of times he brings home some horrible books, but they have a really cool illustrator. This is the same way. You guys have a cover right here. Get me to continue reading down because that's where I see you have experience. This is where you have recommendations. This is what you've done. You get endorsements. There's a fun endorsement game called Someone Endorses You. You go to their webpage and you endorse them. That's
Where's Bowtie wearing?
it's down below.
Yeah, he's a clown, kid.
4 people think I look great in bow tie,
That's true.
which means of those 500, there's 496 not that bright people.
So when you guys connect with Lauren on LinkedIn, endorse him for Bowtie wearing.
Right.
Even though he forgot his tie today.
Even though I totally forgot my tie. Says what I'm involved in the community. JC's, Family and Children's Council, my church, where did I go to school? Little things like that that maybe can get you in the door with the person you're interviewing with. Or again, you know you're going to meet with Kelsey Motley for an interview. You are connected with me, so you shoot me the email. Lauren, what should I know about her? I'll be like, she is the tallest woman in the history of Earth. Not true?
Go.
Okay. So that can be some conversation.
I can't let him talk to me like that. We're standing in like, what is your name? No, behind you. Sorry, I'm sorry, Charles. Kent. So we're standing in line at the Who Hot little girl thing, and he goes, "Oh, you're taller than I thought." And I was like, "Thanks, man." I go, "That's why Lauren calls me Sasquatch." And he goes, "You're gonna let him talk to you like that?" I stand up for myself, kid.
All right.
Sorry, Charles. I wasn't trying to. I like when you talk.
Now we had 2 people being very active in class so far, or during the speech. When you send an invitation, there's a couple ways to do it. You can just hit that connect button to where it says, "I'd like you to join my professional network on LinkedIn." That's what by default comes up. Don't do it. Try to have something that is personal. Enjoy hearing your speech today, even if you don't lie. But enjoy
So much
hearing.
lying.
Enjoyed hearing your speech today. I'd love to have you as part of my professional network on LinkedIn, and hopefully our paths will cross in the future. Just something nice that when I get them, it's not just like, yeah, okay, who is this? Yeah. I tend to get a lot, and sometimes if I don't know the people or if I don't remember the class talk that I did, I will send back the response. I don't remember how we met. Can you just, if it's the generic one, I don't remember how we met. Can you remind me?
So Tim, talk about your minty freshness. Kent, talk about the Who Hot Grill. I mean, there's just little stuff like that. And you guys, you guys get a feel for Lauren and I that we like those little inside jokes. So don't be afraid to send stuff like that to us, but know your audience with that. Make sure that And I'm gonna tell you guys that with LinkedIn, there's not a spell check. So whenever I send someone a message, just to be safe, I copy it and paste it into a document and make sure that I didn't spell anything wrong. So make sure that you're still sending professional email or messages, but you can still send inside jokes to the people that you're meeting, and remind us how we met you.
It is totally appropriate to reach out on LinkedIn to the person who's going to be interviewing you. That's becoming socially okay. Excuse me. So if you know you have something coming up, you know you're meeting with Joe Smith, see how creative I am, that you reach out to them, just say, hey, I see we have an interview next week. I just thought this would be a way for us to kind of get to know each other a little bit first. And that's that. You're not crossing any lines there.
Yeah.
What questions do you have on LinkedIn specifically?
I will tell you guys, add Lauren to your LinkedIn. He is so good about, and his card's back there at the table. I mean, you can add all of us, but he's so good about going through and making sure that you guys have, I mean, he'll go through it with a fine tooth comb and make sure that you have everything that you want.
Fine. I did his after.
Oh, yeah, he did great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll give you feedback and he'll give you recommendations on maybe try adding this, maybe try making this a little bit better, maybe take this out, whatever. So add him, and he'll make sure that your LinkedIn is good to go for future employers.
I'm not going to promise it's going to be in 24 hours, but somewhere in the next 3 months, I will. Because literally after we did the presentation up here, it was about a month and a half later. Got stood up at a Starbucks in Iowa City, and I was like, I'm going to go through all of my Upper Iowa LinkedIn connections, and just every person got an email. Hey, looked it over, changed this. Don't have a picture from a bar. What did you do in this organization? What's your major? Things like that. And pertinent information.
Do you have anything else for LinkedIn?
Yo,
No, it's okay.
you're just sorry.
Sorry.
No, I didn't want to cut off your train of thought, but I was wondering, like, when you actually go on there, and like from like a student perspective, does it say like, this is some kind of stuff like you could include, like, does it give you kind of some ideas what you should
It'll
do?
say like
Or,
75% complete.
Right.
because it's just like an empty box.
No, it'll help you.
It
It'll
gives
guide
you
you.
the categories to fill in. It's up to how involved you are to fill in the categories. You want to be as detailed as you want to be, or yeah, it's kind of a duh statement. But what I mean by that is, if you went to, who were we sitting with that went to Iowa Central? You.
Humble.
Humble. You want to put that you went to Iowa Central and what you did there, because you might be able to connect with somebody because of that. You might have that in common.
And we did.
You guys are both athletes from Iowa Central, who went on to other universities. Little search trip tips. I was in the Glee Club at UNI, and it was awesome. We were cool. There's a cool.
The fact that you have to say that makes it questionable.
Hey, we were awesome. So there's a cool search feature here. So I can search anybody who has UNI Varsity Men's Glee Club in their page just by clicking on it. That's the official title, so I like to be official. And you can see there's 69 results. Now, this is where I'm going to blow your mind. We're going to go to an advanced search.
Amy, what time are we going with this?
15 minutes. 10 minutes, actually.
Hurry.
Oh, hold back in UNI.
What he's trying to get at, guys, is it has to be.
So, oh, there we go.
There we go.
Just after
Another
you ruined the computer. But just by kind of changing your search field. So maybe not everybody put it in the exact same way that I put it in, the official way, the right way. It's not everybody's as perfect as me.
Okay.
By changing it to just Glee Club, but at my university, now all of a sudden you have 139 connections, of which I'm connected with most of them because we're we're a tight-knit group. There's only 900 of us total. We all know each other pretty well. Those people, maybe I haven't connected them directly for business, but having them as connections has helped me get in with other people. Maybe their bosses or their coworkers that I can just say, hey, brother. Well, the song we sing, Brother Sing On. So we all call each other brother, you know. And it's not from this one either. So we try to help each other out the best we can. And that's where it's not who you know, it's who you know. Who you know knows.
Who you know knows.
Who you know knows. No, you know.
Questions about LinkedIn, guys? Was this helpful? Even though I know that we joke a lot about it, but we're serious. Get LinkedIn. Social media. I know that you guys have probably heard this from your teachers, everyone. Be very careful with what you guys are putting on your Facebook, Twitter, everything. Be so careful about that. I'm not one who gets on people's Facebook when I'm interviewing them. I don't check it out. I want to just meet them. So I don't look at that stuff, but I know that there are people who are paid to creep on people's social media websites. So be very careful with that. And even in our office, I've had interns who they'll see someone come in for an interview and they'll tell me that we don't want to hire them because of stuff that they put on their Facebook. We had a guy who he had a very inappropriate photo of himself on like Twitter or whatever, Instagram or whatever it is, and that's just one of those things that, you know, if you're going to put that stuff out for the world to see, how are you going to represent our company? Right? That makes sense, right? So be careful with, Lauren always jokes, make sure that you make your spring break photo albums private so that everyone can't see them. But we're serious about it because some people are going to look at that and some people are going to base their opinion on what you put on your Facebook and what you want the world to see about you. Okay?
Yeah. As you're transitioning into more of the professional world, you have to remember tweeting on a Friday night at 2 a.m. usually is not the best choice. I mean, it's funny. I'd laugh if I read it, but most people are going to look at that, especially if it's a Friday, and then another Friday, and then a Thursday, Friday, and then Friday, Saturday. There's a pattern here. This person's always late on Monday. I don't get it. Oh, no, I do. Be mindful of that stuff. Yeah.
What else do you want us to touch on about, like, job search, stuff like that? Okay.
We disk the paper and online searches. You can use them. I think the most effective way is to get to know people. Get to know your career services people here.
Oh, yeah.
They will be super beneficial and helpful of getting you in the right direction and having real relationships with those people, because when you sit down with them and you're having real conversations and then something comes across their desk, you want them to remember you. Like, oh, this would be perfect for any student here, but so-and-so comes into my office every Monday just to find out how my weekend was. Or this person has gone out of their way to help me with this charitable event by setting up and taking down tables. I think I'm going to throw it their way first. Not the way the world should work, it's the way the world does work, though.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about this in the session before lunch, but making sure that Hope and Annie are planning a career fair is it for next fall? Make sure that you guys are going to these things. If you're serious about looking for a job, I know that it's so, and I'm going to be the first to tell you that I didn't know that I had to go to career fairs when I was in college. I didn't go to a career fair when I was in college. And lucky for me, I was able to find the right people to help me find this path. But some people might be curious about other things. So go to career fairs, meet every single person there. Dress up, dress to impress. Show them that you really care about this. And seriously, go up and do your elevator speech to every single person there, because you never know who they're going to be able to connect you to. Just like Lauren talked about, with even Shay was in here earlier, and I met her a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and I've been able to put her in touch with people who know people where she wants to be. She wouldn't be a good fit for this, she wouldn't want to do something like what we do, but we can help her find something that she wants. So it's very important to be genuine and deliberate with those relationships, because those people they're going to help you. I get paid to help people find jobs. That's what my passion is. That's what I like to do, is help people find a path. So just making sure that and I'm going to say it 100 times, but just making sure that you're really utilizing those connections. And they're there to meet you and talk to you. If you're uncomfortable, go up to them, shake their hand. They're going to lead the conversation because that they know what they're doing. They know how to talk to people. They know how to network. You might be nervous. If your hands are sweaty, don't mention it because we don't care. We're not going to notice that. So just make sure that you're shaking hands and introducing yourself to every single person at those career fairs. I feel like I just rambled. Do you guys have questions?
You guys have an awesome opportunity where you're at. When you're going out in the workforce, find something you're passionate about. Don't just do a job to get paid. That's going off from the very first speaker this morning. Do something that's going to, hopefully before you graduate, you take some time to have a vision. And we're talking long-term, kind of what the second speaker talked about. Where do you want at the end? And then every decision in your life, so how your perfect life is, every decision you make either goes towards getting you closer to your goals or against it. And when you get that job, should I surf the Facebook for a little while, or should I get this extra work done that I could get done? Little tiny decision of the day. What's 10 minutes of Facebook? But which direction did that take you? Did that take you closer to your goals or away from your goals? You guys can do whatever you want right now, and you get to choose. That's an awesome thing. So take the time to give it the right process. And
With interviewing, you guys, make sure that when you're in the actual job or when you're in the actual interview, first of all, make sure that you've researched. We've talked about this. Make sure that you've researched the person you're interviewing with, the company. Make sure that you know stuff. You can ask solid questions. Also, make sure that you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. You guys do not want to be unhappy with what you're doing, okay? If you are in a job where you're unhappy, it messes up your whole life. It messes up your whole world. Make sure that you are finding something that you are so comfortable with and passionate about, and the culture is exactly what you're looking for, because that's going to make you not only a better employee, but a better person. It's going to make you happier. It's going to make people want to be around you more. It's just going to make everything make more sense, okay? So really make sure that you're doing deliberate research and you're doing it with a purpose and with a focus, okay? Questions?